getting introduced.
Second referee coming from
and now for Olga Zakharova. And the introduction now, individually, of the starting lineup coming for Serbia. Waiting of the announcement getting clarified. And there now, their first player will take the floor. And that's Buselevic. And out there as well, you see their starting line. Stojlevic, Petkovic, their captain. And Skundrich, one to watch. Goran Skundrich, number 1. He is the libero, so the man with a plan defensively to keep the ball off the floor. And Sinisa Iralchik, the Serbian coach. So just commenting there about Skundrich, he's a little larger than, as far as in height, than you might see. As now the announcement for Azerbaijan. And the libero to start, Emil Abdullayev, will get the call to start this match. And there he is in the green top and green shorts. Bulin Karsliglu will marshal this side and hopefully for Azerbaijan to victory in match number 2 for themselves in Pool A. The ceremony of build-up for this one almost complete, as these two sides are ready to do battle. So I mentioned about Serbia, a characteristic is they are high flyers. They will utilize that to their best advantage. Azerbaijan, not really known in their statistics thus far, but maybe not a true reflection of their ability in the area. They're not really shot blockers. So they're sort of in the lower echelons of the 12 teams in this tournament thus far. But as I mentioned, they've only played the one game. This is their second. So stay tuned. An interesting prospect as the host will open up with serve. Oh, the quick response from Serbia, and as I mentioned, talking about their height extension at the net, that is a quick response to this opening sequence. And just as the serve gets returned to Serbia, they benefit with the point on the board. From the back row, there the blocking effort from Azerbaijan, much better, and there they get the point as a result, and they get right up and front that approach this time. A trio of Azeris meet that pass. Azeri on that play, and you get a sense as this Crystal Hall crowd, well, unquestionably behind the hosts, of course, but they're a respectful nation too. Listen to the chanting begin. This will be pulsating. Serbia across the grain, forcing the play there. Abduliev can't quite dig it out cleanly. It gets away from Azeri, their lead they just had. Oh, and it's a long one that will give an easy point to the hosts. To serve now for the team in red. Oh my, that is a devastating response from Serbia, as they would have none of it. That's a hammer to come right back and a level score at 3. A secret going on their side right now, Serbia. They are finding a way through that Azeri blocking formation at the net. They reverse and then the drive into the open channel, and it goes down onto the Azeri side of the net. The lead now for Serbia in this first set. Oh, they find a way, and look at that elevation. Even better the location. It is potted into a perfect position. The captain, Chervikov. Will they take the lead on this point? Oh, they are a little cute, aren't they? They can change the pace, Serbia. And they will also spot a hole in the Azeri defense, and they look to exploit it. They have taken the lead once again. This is the captain for Serbia, Petkovic. And that was a rifle, and they block it down, but it goes out, and Azerbaijan now with serve. Kept it alive. Great work. And the response, they take advantage of that live ball. And that's what his job is to bring to the party. Abduliev, you see him get down and dig it out. Then the opportunity for his team to create their own momentum. They now have the lead in this first set. Whole lot of pushback when the Serbians elevate and they move it across to the number 1 position. They have a high percentage of getting the point on that first spike opportunity. Level at 6s. Outside set, and the point awarded. Azerbaijan with the lead as these two go back and forth. Neither side has been able to extend their margin by more than 1 thus far. Oh, that was the good intention, but unfortunate with the execution. They had the block there. Goes out of play, but off the touch of the two players at the net for Azerbaijan. Level at 7. Oh, into a pocket, but it's pulled out and played on. Oh, that's a real battle, isn't it? Oh, they keep it alive, and do they make the most of it? They do. Off of the fingertips of the Serbian front line. And they get the rub of the green.
Azerbaijan leads Serbia 8-7. We have a technical time.
It's a well-taken receipt of the ball, as it was just really kind of handcuffing the Azeri defense. Goes off the netting, and then they pull it out quickly, get it back onto the Serbian side. And now a technical timeout. Let's say we're moving closely towards party mode inside of this Crystal Hall. Looks like a good time. It is a good time, particularly when the hosts are in the lead. That's a strong serve, but that's an even better return, as once again the elevation that the Serbians are able to attain is a distinct advantage at that net. The reverse, and they smash it through the block and find a way just to screwdrive it down into the floor. But it's Serbian point as a result of the Azerbaijani attacker going into the net. Ibragimov follows through and goes into the net. Point for Serbia, them with the advantage now and serve. Out nicely. That's the power game that has put us back at 9s. The host to serve. Stuff at the net. They look like the flame towers as they peak right in the face of that intended spike, and they benefit from it as it recoils onto the Serbian side of the net and hits the floor. They cannot recover it. Oof, it just gets over. That is too much to handle in response. The Serbians have that in their locker, don't they? That when they fall down by a point, they seem to be able to elevate their overall energy and their oomph factor as they throw on the mojo, and they are now level at 10. Goes off of the block by the host side, and as a result, Serbia benefit with the point. They're in great position at just effectively the angle in which the spiker was approaching the ball. Oh, they've kept it available to be played on. They'll just get it over, and that's a difficult one to receive. touch of the net. We're waiting for the indication. And it has been. It was Serbia touching the playing net on that attempted block. 11 apiece. Obodnikov with the serve, and it is quickly taken away from him. He only gets one attempt. Serbia will win it back with that quick 1-2-3 response, and perfectly placed inside that right sideline. Just got away, but they've been able to benefit from it and use that to catapult their approach, but not this time. Azerbaijan are in strong position. They have one serve back. Right place, right time. And that had all sorts of pace on it. This is, too much to handle, though. Serbia have that, don't they?
Serbia attacking the lead.
And with the possibility of 5 sets to determine this match, each set up to 25 points, it seems to be a little bit of an edge, an advantage that they have when they want to just pull it out at the important time, just to get themselves nudged ahead on the scoreline. Again, they employ that power game. They're much more comfortable, but actually they touch the net, and Azerbaijan gets benefit of that play. It's all about control, and there you see the spiker is the one who will, in fact, engage the net. Kopkovic allows the host the ball back to serve. They are wasteful with the possession. It's out of play. Those little momentum changers, they're little things, aren't they? But over the course of all of the points in a match, they do add up. A set rather than the bump. To the outside for the spike. They are able to fetch it, but they can't control it, as that just flings out of play. Not even a chance to stay in the field of play, that one. First time there has been a 2-point margin in this match. Thus far, we're only in the first set. Kopkovic, he gets the benefit of the roll. That isn't going to be deceptive enough. That's an important block for Azerbaijan. That's even better. They needed that point. And that's about getting the points at the right time. And Skundrich involved in that one. A rotation out now. And this, the snuff that they needed at the most important of time. That was Samedov, who will get the benefit, and he will now serve as a result for the Azeris. Great music inside Crystal Hall in Baku. Again, that net, that is just something. They have not been able to find an answer yet, Azerbaijan, for that quick approach. And at the angle in which they're able to get the spike down, that is effectively at the moment indefensible. They just are able to get through the block, and too much to handle as a 2-point margin at the break for Serbia now. games. And it's a 16-day party, isn't it? They're so proud as they are allowing the eyes of the world to look right in to their home city in Baku, the capital. So much has changed. You see comments about it from the athletes. Not only are they incredibly impressed and believe that this even has advantages over an Olympic Games in some aspects, just they've seen this city change so much over the course of the last 3-4 years. That is blocked and out. An important win of serve now for Azerbaijan. What will they do with it? They have brought this match back within one. The serve does not get retained by the host. The block there ricochets out of the field of play, but last touch by Azerbaijan. Serbia to serve. Oh, and a perfectly placed tip, and not entirely directed, but definitely a little bit of a shove on that one, but it's about the extension, so you're able to tip it, and that's certainly within the boundaries of the rules of the game. And it's about getting your hand up and then directing it, changing the direction with your wrist, and sort of throwing it. You certainly can't do that. 3 points up Serbia in this opening set. And you get a sense right now, unless there's a pushback from Azerbaijan in this next possession, next service break, this game and this set, well, might just be getting away from them. A real call to arms there from Karsioglu. He knows how important this particular stage is in the match. That's why he calls the timeout there. Serbia to serve. Will they get to 19? Tip of the block at the net, and too much to handle as it pops up and over the libero. Watch it again. Actually well beyond the back line, and in that instance, Yelalov unable to get to it. They are willing their way forward now. Serbia, 5 points to the good. They have 20 of them, and they're only 5 points away from recording this first set on their tally. And a timeout. You see, this is a real turning point. And the challenge in volleyball is so much is invested in each one of the sets that it is so difficult to relinquish, because you know how much further you have to travel in order to get that back. So you lose the first set, you've got to get 2 now in order to be in front. So this is crucial, that this next few points that Azerbaijan are able to, in fact, inflict their influence and intention. They'll have to receive serve, though. Oh, and a it's a costly mistake. Buzuljevic actually goes wide, and he, from that back left corner, goes across diagonally. This is the sequence that Azerbaijan needs to create for themselves. Oh, they have, and that is too far gone. And he would have had to come back over on his side. Obviously, you can't play the ball with your foot. Certainly not in that sort of kicking motion. If it goes off your foot, play can continue, but it's all interpretation of whether or not there was the intention to use it. It's up the first set, a little bit loose, but again, now a different prospect indeed this first set, as the urgency button has been pressed, and they've gone up an octave. That didn't look like it was going to make it. Oh, oh! That is lovely stuff for the host side. Oh, they've got to be itching with delight. And that will bring about a timeout called by Reljic from Serbia, their coach. A different prospect now in the first set. What a difference a point or two will make. As that timeout disrupted the natural momentum that has been generated in this building, I don't think this party's going to die down. So I think there is a real undercurrent of support, naturally there is, that'll run right through this building throughout. But the team on the court, they can certainly influence it as well. And can they get to 20? That's a tight angle in which to make something of. They got to go a long ways to get this home. They will, and they've done it. The tight angle just too much. This is going to be a short set, and it is Serbia, but it's dug out. And this point continues. One more time, just for luck. Here it comes. Oh, and that is a real game changer. And you see the biting of the knuckles there, a white knuckle ride on that last point. Azerbaijan looking to get themselves level, and now they'll slip to two back. That is a heater right in the hot pocket. Just unable to control their cross-court spike, and they just were at 50%, and it floated on them. It didn't get down in time. Response, Azerbaijan force it off the block and out of play. They will have serve. 22-20 for Serbia at the moment. Serve was such a long way back from the baseline, and the mistimed hit, maybe more mistimed by at what height the ball needed to be when he struck it. That's That's a costly blow. That could be a difference maker. Serbia, right on the cusp with the serve. Oh, that has been very fruitful indeed, that missed serve, but look at that. It is deemed out, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. This may have, in fact, just been one of those moments. Tough from that angle, but the officials right there on it, the referee deeming it's out. Is this the golden nugget that they need to keep their hopes alive in this first set? Azerbaijan to serve. Watching this review here again, and it catches the line, so I think that's going to change the whole course of what's just transpired. There you have it, 24-20. A whole different looking scoreline now. It's obvious, isn't it? It's like they say the stats don't lie. In this instance, the video doesn't lie. Game point. They are able to extend it for another serve at least. Azerbaijan with 21. Kovalenko. Oh, Kovalenko! And it is in. Oh, what a glorious time to come up with a pocket ace. Well, why don't you, sir? May I have another? A timeout as a result. Serbia want to see if they can't put some ice in the veins of Kovalenko. And have him think a little bit about this second attempt. Good times in Baku. Hello to the world. We're in Azerbaijan for these first European Games. Day 4. Second match for both of these sides, right at the end of this first set. Oh, he has punched it just a little too hard this time, and it will slip out of play. Serbia take the first set, the first game of this match. And it always sort of begs the question, particularly as you look at the score there, why not just take a little bit off and just get it over? Wonderful venue, this Crystal Hall. It was the home of the European Song Contest back in 2012. There you have a see of the stats in the opening set. Both sides equal with attempts on the spikes. It's the conversion rate that's much higher for Serbia, giving them the advantage. Have switched ends, and the match will continue now in the second set. That is Serbia. If you're just tuning in the blue and red, and in the red and white, it is the host country, Azerbaijan, who are in tough now in their second match. They're one down in this one. Perfectly placed by the Serbian back row maneuver.
Serbia with the first point in the second set.
And leaving from behind that back line there, coming out of the back row and making the perfect shot. And responded to well by the Azeris. They forced that one off of the Serbian block, and it's right out of play. Now to serve. And it gets away. And it's those unforced errors, effectively, that they leave so much opportunity on the table, not converted. Took a little bit off that one to make sure it was lofty enough to get over the net. And they actually end up touching the net there. So, serve back with Azerbaijan now. A central position, looking to see what's the best place to direct this serve. Obodnikov. There to the far side, and they've been able to jam shot it and force it down inside of that Serbian block, and they can't keep it alive. This is the first time that Azerbaijan has had a lead in this match in a while. In this second set. Obodnikov again, starting to warm up. Oh, and just as you say it, that will cool you off as quick as a snowfall. That is just, it's excruciating. Just can't defend it right now. Oh, they respond though. A favorable bump set and spike. Oh, that's a real nice edge. As you see the curvature on the ball. And it finds a way. Kovalenko to serve. Oh, he just has to muscle that one over the net line. And that is just a well-manufactured, positioned ball. Just allowing the natural flight of it to travel and then directing it down with directed force. Level at 4. Oh, and you can see it almost from our vantage point. When the ball gets ahead of the jump serving player, they end up having to try and catch up with it. It either goes in the net or invariably long or wide. That lofted toss, so difficult to time. Oh, and there is an example right back again. 2 points exchanged as a result of those missed serves. He took a little bit off it there. He was chasing that one. It's kept alive. It's in a difficult spot. They've had to... Oh, the response there. That's the left-handed motion. And a little bit deceptive in its employment. And they find a way to regather a 1-point advantage in the second set. Swatted at. Most importantly, it hits the floor. That'll kill your momentum quicker than a bullet. As they don't award any points for firing it right into your own net from your side. It certainly does propel the opposition generally. That's as strong a spike as we have seen from Azerbaijan in this match. It was a back row hit. Most importantly, it was the angle in which it was coming down in that Serbian half of the court. Well, this is a little bit loose, but they will gather it. Try and bring that back, but that's a long ways from home. Level at 7.
Serbian equalizer, Azerbaijan 7, Serbia 7. Maxim Usulievic.
Serbian serve. Usulievic will try and cool off that right hand. He's a jump server. He just gets it across the line. Serbia snuff it out.
Serbia 87.
And a timeout now executed by Azerbaijan. They have just conceded the advantage right now in this second set for the first time. And they'll need to slightly adjust their approach. If they let this set slip away from them, they are going to have to take the slow and long road back to town. There's no getting the Azeris down though. They're on TV inside this Crystal Hall venue, and smiles abound. They're a great smiling nation, Azerbaijan. Some of the most kind and genuine people that you would ever hope to meet. They are proud that these athletes are here, over 6,000 of them in this European Games. 20 different events. This is going to go long. And Azerbaijan staying right on course. They have leveled it at 8. 16 of the events in Baku are also in the Olympic Games. And a number of these events being used as qualification for Rio in 2016. 12 of them, in fact. To the outside. Oh, that is just a pocket rocket with all sorts of torque on it. It's just the abrupt nature of the close when this is executed to perfection. it just brings everything to a calm, doesn't it? It's kind of like the default button. The restart. The reverse serve, though, and that's dynamite stuff, but the location of its eventual arrival is not on the field of play. Serbia now with the 2-point advantage. Chasing it, but containing it and keeping it down. That will not rotate over the top enough to stay on court. And 3 points all of a sudden. A little bit of a gap in the middle of this second set opening for Serbia. And they are looking to put their foot down on the gas. There's a substitution now being made. Coming out is Yelov. And in is Bayremov. This is an important point. And was it touched, though, by the Serbians? It was not. Now 4 points. Watch it again. Up. And it's just pushed out of play, and that's directly from Kovalenko. And right now, there is a little bit of a gulf appearing in this match. Not only in the scoreline, but looking at the Azerbaijan team, they're looking a little fatigued. Sometimes you can only provide so much pep in those timeouts. It needs to be backed up with substance on the floor. They're within touching distance. They can't allow it to get too much further away, though. Serbia trying to extend to a 5-point advantage in the second set. Oh, the favorable roll was a little bit sloppy, but it's effective enough to give them another opportunity. You're not going to stop that as Serbia blow the doors off of Azerbaijan on that play. And they can fly. More importantly, they can elevate, and the angle in which you're trying to, not only the angle of the shot coming down from that type of position is Cheryakov comes off. It's so difficult because of the speed. It gets to you quicker than it would if it was more horizontal. But then it becomes that much more difficult to get underneath it to try and keep it alive. So the elevation is key at the point of attack at that net for Serbia. And that is an ace that is just gobbling up the Azeris right now. 6 points, the differential in the second set. And they are driving, and they are looking to drive a nail right in their intended plans. Try and put this game to bed. Oh, that's a good response, though. And high up into the body of Serbia's libero. That is Skundrich. And he's scorched by that one. Off of the right arm. He cannot respond. If they're going to stay with this match and give themselves life, this next few points is huge. Kupkovic strapping on his left leg there. It's just too easy right now for Serbia. They were
Serbia back in the 6th.
Well, they just are taking care of it, and you're seeing a little bit of the deterioration of Azerbaijan right now. They're not entirely self-destructing because Serbia is applying the pressure, and it is a little bit too much to bear. That's a good response as they get to double digits. And the location of the spike at the net, most important point to avoid that very formidable blocking presence from Serbia at that point of attack. They are successful at finishing their own problem. And the problem, just for a moment, is that block from Azerbaijan, but doesn't seem to be much of a problem at the moment for Serbia. See the blocks in the match thus far for Azerbaijan. But they generally are applying the pressure when they are looking to try and win the point. It's totally by design, and they look very calm in the build-up, and their execution has been very exploiting of this host team's defense capabilities. And you can see it in their eyes right now. Somebody has got to lead them forward. And collectively, they need to rally around a moment or two in the next few scoring sequences. That's important. Within 5, they are again. More about location, maybe, than about devastating power, but it's all about being effective now. Beremov. And they just jam it onto the Azeri side, and as a result they get to 17. Serbia 6 points now, the advantage in the second set. That last service is an example of just why the Serbians are so good, just to keep that in play with the amount of pace they had on it, but a strong block by Azerbaijan at the net. And it actually goes off of Serbia and out. Oh, this is important. Right back again. Is this a little bit of changing complexion in the landscape of this second set? You see the call to arms and the request for more emotion within this building, and a celebration there. I like it. Love to see the passion. And touching the net. That's the reason behind the awarded 18th point. It's all about control and discipline equally, isn't it? And unfortunately, therefore, the Azeris, they get themselves entangled. The whistle was not blown by the referee to allow the serve. Just looking for some clarification now at the scoring table. Everything seems to be in order. Rasic. Handcuffs. The defense is a broken play. Azerbaijan take a timeout. Be interesting just to get a sense for their approach now, because it's always easy just to roll over and suggest that the task is too monumental and too much in order to overcome. But they're still within touching distance right now. If in this set they can really push on and get it to level at 1, well, it's game on, isn't it? Hello, gents. Enjoy yourselves. Good times here at the Crystal Hall, the first European Games ever. We're in Baku, Azerbaijan. The hosts are behind at the moment. They're in the second set, and they are dealing with that type of back row power. Serbia to respond. It is up and available. Oh, they do a great job, but they do not locate it. The response is very potent. The execution, though, a little elusive, as they can't quite dot the I's and cross the T's. That'll get away. Back to 6 points now. They need a real string of a couple 3 points in a row and try and put a little bit of a question of doubt in the minds of the Serbian team. Little switcheroo, move along. Hasanli will give it a different look, as he's way back on this left corner for Azerbaijan to serve. Oh, that's important. Within 5 now. The red machine. Are they going to elevate now and really try to press on? Go back to the same position again. Dealing with that receiving as a set, and once again, overpowering. Serbia just put a little bit of a hush across this crowd. The extension is prolific at the net there. Good idea. That is too much to handle. You've got to go a long ways and need to be careful en route to try and doing so. Good positivity, though, from Azerbaijan. They will continue to encourage each other. That's what team play is all about. They know that they've got their hands full here right now. But you need to keep it focused. You need to keep together. They just need a play or two to really galvanize their intentions in this second set. That there will do nothing to help, as the short ball quick set is slammed down as quick as you can say, Serbia. They're 2 points adrift from taking a stranglehold on this match and gaining this second set. They have a margin for error, though. And whilst that looks a little bit silly, they can afford to waste 1 or 2. Wouldn't want to waste 3, though. Things can change in a hurry in volleyball. Is a point awarded to Azerbaijan. It was a contact from the Serbian player at the net. And the inquiry as to whether or not that was in, well, it was affirmed quite comfortably there by the back row. Hasanli saying no, that was in. Set point for Serbia, looking to go 2-0 up. That's a point to bring it within 6. But there's a sense right now in this second set that it's only a matter of time before Serbia force a mistake or in fact just employ their utter dominance from that spiking position of the net. And a substitution now onto the floor for Azerbaijan. Coming out, Obodnikov will go and have a seat. And in to serve, Suleimanov. Yavid Suleimanov to loft it into action. And the tip from Serbia will close out this second set. They are in pole position to take this match, the second that they have participated in these European games. Right now, Azerbaijan are staring down the prospect of a 3-0 loss in sets taken to Serbia. What have they got in store in the third set? That is what the question will be inside that Azerbaijan coaching huddle.
2-0 set. Have 2.5 minute break, then we'll back to the third set.
Again, the Serbians with the distinct spiking conversion of 15 of them on the 24 opportunities presented. And they're forcing those errors, aren't they? Other than that, it's pretty level, but overwhelmingly prominent. And the superior of the two teams when taking advantage of that spike. Azerbaijan to start this third set. They will have service. doing the best they can to keep the party alive inside of Crystal Hall. Great game presentation, atmosphere generated by the presentation team. Right now they need a little bit more presentation from their home side on the court. And they need to try and press on and establish a little bit of a run of control in this match. But that's easier said than done, as the Serbians are good for their two-set advantage to nothing. Forcing a long recovery now. To the outside, the elevation is not as extensive as the Serbian block, and they'll find themselves down quickly, 2 points. Forcing it off of the block. The challenge being is the contact from the approach to that finishing spike from Azerbaijan and touching the net. A 3rd point for Serbia. They are in a strong position. They are rolling along comfortably. Oh, this ace is a change-up and a little bit of salt in the wounds with that shot. Not expecting it. 95% of the time, it is a real powerful blast that comes from the service position. And then they threw in a little bit of a knuckleball change-up. And that was slightly embarrassing and uncomfortable for Azerbaijan to try and get themselves upright again and suggest that they properly tried to defend that shot. So to extend on the knuckleball, that's really of the North American baseball. It's a pitching technique generally used to try and be elusive. There is a response from the Serbians. There is nothing elusive about that power game. Right at the front, and it will just get long and on the board in this 3rd set is the hosts. They'll take the point, even though it is a Serbian miscue. It still is a chance to try and open up their point scoring account now in this 3rd set. A well-recovered ball. They've got to try and get themselves recollected under the height of that, and Serbia will just pound it down, and it is without any mercy, that response. The way they just come right back and punish Azerbaijan for being a little bit loose in their play. So yes, again, the knuckleball to really emulate the flight maybe of a butterfly, and trying to flit and kind of utilize the air currents just to drift along and change direction, but also to do that at a slower pace. Right now they are beginning to really put maybe the finishing touches on this match. The way they're going right now, Serbia, nothing slowing them down. That is a good response though there. Is it a temporary reprieve from the eventual scoreline that's going to be favoring Serbia? Well, that's what we're all here to witness. It has that sort of feeling about it right now. And that type of missed serve only compounds the issue.
Serve is long, Serbia leads 7-2. 21, Petar Kemanovic.
Substitutions. And again, Serbia to serve. Just take a little bit off it. That ability to get it over and force Azerbaijan to have to play it, even when it is maybe not the perfect position in which to strike it. Once you elevate, you're committed, aren't you? Once you loft that ball and elevate from the service position, you've got to finish your play, and it means you've got to adjust in flight, and you have to then try to keep it over the net and down on the other side. A lot going on there. Serbia are better at the service game, and they are better at adjusting when they need to as well. Now you see the spikes, the attempts, pretty close as far as overall attempts. 69 for Azerbaijan, 68 for Serbia. However, the 36 from 68 opportunities converted from Serbia, the real difference maker in this match. Serve errors. Well, there are the errors. That gentleman is looking to amplify the sound here with his cup. He's delighted. Great to see. It's late though. He's having a good time, and mom and dad are there too, so it's all right. But just to reflect again on that scoring ratio from the spikes. 15 to 20% differential to the advantage of Serbia in their conversion rate. And in small margins in a sport like this, well, they quickly mount up to what's a lopsided scoreline and a lopsided match right now. And they will count that one in. So 5 points now, the difference in this third set. In Baku 2015, these European games. Oh, has it just about dropped? Oh, it will drop, but it is out. And is this a little bit of a momentum twist? Are they going to use this to catapult themselves forward and get back in the match? Well, it's now or potentially never. And a wink just to settle down his teammates. Otherwise, you might have suggested that was a deer in the headlights look. The serve to come. And the review is the teams looking up at the scoreboard with the video provided. And that's what you'll invariably see them doing when they come to kind of rally after each point. There's always invariably a player or two who are looking up at the end of the arena to see the immediate replay. And this is an instance where replay, as we watch it again, is quite clearly, the question is whether or not there's contact, whether it goes off of the outside left arm of the inside blocker for Azerbaijan. And it does not. It is wide. Last touch by Serbia. 4 points now for Azerbaijan in this third set. It's popped up and nobody really knows what to do with it. And we'll call that one a campfire. Everybody stood around and the heat from the ball a little too much, and everybody just stands back at a safe distance. However, the ball is the most important part to respond to in this, and that is just devastating. You can't have those type of mistakes. That's their 9th of the entire match, and it gives Serbia their 9th point of this third set.
Serbia lead in 9-5 third set. Number 16, Drazen.
Can they double the scoreline for themselves and give the advantage with this? It's still on offer for Serbia from the back row. The reverse set is delicious, but it is not in the spike. Every opportunity in which to do so, but you see those big sticks that keep the ball in play either side of the net. You'll see just you have to keep it inside that red, white, and stick right there. And if you don't, well, it's not a legal play. So then you have to kind of twist it, don't you? And end up twisting it out of play. That one goes right out of play from service from Serbia. Semedov. Oh, he's committed to the jump spike, and he has put it out. And there is now double digits in service errors for Azerbaijan as they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Serbia to serve. They look to double the scoreline advantage. They will not themselves. And right now, it's a battle between these two sides as to who can make more mistakes. The serve is good. Oh, the finish is better. And that is all that really matters, as the 12th point has now been recorded for Serbia in this third set. And it doesn't look as though Azerbaijan have another gear in which to try and move into. They're kind of sitting in the fast lane, but they're not going quite fast enough. And there's a few Serbian cars behind them honking, asking them to get out of the way. 4 points. So a benefit from the miscue there received by Azerbaijan. They need to generate their own advantage. They need to win the point, get their confidence back. They're obviously fledgling a little bit, needing just to find their A game. It is a play that they cannot recover as it goes off of the block, and beyond the referee there sat in his chair, and it's unable to be recovered by the Azeris, as another point closer over the halfway point for Serbia to the 25 that almost seems inevitable for them in this third set. Mitic says, I would like another ball. One of those ace balls. He's looking to serve one up now. Little spin. And the soft touch. That's a little bit of a knuckler that he just delivered. But the point ultimately on the board for Serbia. And a change of pace is not a bad thing, because it really kind of sets the defense into another mode. And then everybody's a little bit uncertain as to how to respond. There is again. It's a clever move. And it has forced a response from Azerbaijan, and have they slotted it in there perfectly inside the line, and they have a 9th point. Difficult to have seen just how that was going to get in there, but the 50% shot, only half volume, and they are able to just knife it into the perfect location. The reverse, the touch, delicately placed. Returned though. And Serbia are inaccurate on this attempt. Azerbaijan must, if they're going to contend for this match. Must really throw it up another level. And you just saw a demonstration there from Mitic. Take a little bit off and make certain that you get it in play. Do not continue to hurt yourself like that. And a difficult moment that there just kind of says it all. 15-10, Serbia in firm control of this match. And the hosts, well, they have taken the party spirit and they have filed it accordingly. Serbia are spoilers right now. Will they respond? They will, but they will not do it in a proficient enough manner.
16,
Serbia are inside a single digits away from recording this match victory over Azerbaijan. And it was just a kind of a partial timeout. They kind of gathering themselves, but not necessarily coming over to the bench to really discuss the matter. It's amongst themselves on the floor, isn't it? As to how they want to approach it, they get themselves rallied, they come together. The players play. They are the ones that need to take it up a level, and the liberos will exchange for each other. They are able to do that. They are always on the floor. They never rotate out. And the touch there, as you see on the fingers of the Serbians at the block, and that leads to the point for Azerbaijan. But that response there from Serbia, it is devastating, very intimidating, because you just can't make a mistake. You know that any mistake is going to get jammed down your throat, and that's what Serbia have done all match, and they continue to do so. I don't expect they're going to let up any. The advantage to Azerbaijan rather, and they are, well, 3-2. It's not enough really to trouble this point tally. And another substitution of the libero for each other. They in the green shirt for Azerbaijan. Here's the serve though for Serbia. The consistency of their service game leads to the ultimate point there on that play. So it just applies the pressure off the initial start of the exchange. And from there, they're kind of on their back foot. Awaiting the whistle from the referee. And now for the serve. Again, the let's just... The ball coming off, and you see the indication from the back line judge. That is in Azerbaijan with control. They have at least the control of this serve. But maybe another point or two, and things might change. That is not going to help things change positively, though, for Azerbaijan. They are now another further point closer to the end of this match. It's still alive, keeping it available. And right now, with the 19 points, Serbia look destined to get themselves a 3-0 victory in sets in this match. And that has a different connotation as well in the overall point tally in the standings. It's all about making these matches as competitive as possible. And yes, they could be quite lengthy, getting into 5 sets when they do, but right now this is going to be in relative short order, it seems. The fourth shot has worked into a point for Azerbaijan. At 13 now, they're 6 back. And can they recover and get themselves at least one set? Wouldn't that help and move them on? At least keep them from being right at the bottom of this Group A. But the challenge, however, is it is Serbia who sat below them ahead of this match, and right now this is a real thudding defeat for Azerbaijan. It's not over yet. There are 5 points still that they need to gather on their travels, Serbia. But they look good for it right now. So just looking at the work that has been done in the match thus far. And Azerbaijan in their opener, they getting defeated, or they were defeated by Finland rather, but that was in 5 sets, so they get themselves what's in effect a charity point in the standings. And Serbia, well, they work as well, but they, well, in 4 sets defeated, and the Turks able to take them down. So as a result, they had nothing in the tally before this match, but they look certain to be changing the complexion of that. And this is a response from Azerbaijan. That is the best real spike that we have seen from them in some time. I wouldn't declare it the best in the match, as that would probably be unfair, but it's the best we've seen in this set. Oh, that's a good response there. Have they got something left in the tank? And we've almost been talking them off the floor and organizing transportation home for everybody. But all of a sudden, Azerbaijan are looking to make this a more dramatic finish to this 3rd set. Just looking at that play again, and it looks to be pretty clear upon the video review on the scoreboard inside this Crystal Hall. And they're just seeing that that 15-point belongs to Azerbaijan before Serbia can get their 21st. Back at it now, the official review. So they were just determining whether or not the play was made and touched again by the attacking player. In that instance, Azerbaijan to serve. Oh, look at this all of a sudden. And they are revitalized. It's a resurrection of their spirits. And good to see their pride, even if it's just a glimpse. that has just caught an air current and traveled out of the field of play. And you could see it. It just was too much power and escapes the court. Lopar. Oh, that has some real stamp on it. It is just slipping along the net line. But it was the contact with the net that has led to 22 points for Serbia in this third set. They are right there looking to finish the job. Oh, the touch is a very deft one. That is a great response to see it in flight and change their approach. Right now they're feeling good. 17 for Azerbaijan. Let's see them push on in this set. Let's see them win one and take a little bit of the pain out of what's going on inside this facility at the moment. This serve is crucial. And you simply have no ability to make amends on those types of play when you're doing the damage to yourself. A shame for Azerbaijan. They're more capable. The touch is unable to get across there. And deception not a friend to the Serbians on that attempt. As right back, Obodnikov will get this service opportunity, and he must make it count. And that, however, is allowing it to count for Serbia in their score tally. They are match point now. The serve, it's up. And maybe have they delayed it temporarily? They have. 19 now for Azerbaijan is going back into the advertising hoarding, trying to get to it. It was a little too far, and the intention may have been there, but they were handicapped by the perimeter of the facility here, and that the scorer's table as well back there. And we're going to have a long way to travel to keep that in play. Now, Azerbaijan still with match point. And that is, again, what they have done to themselves too many times in this match to recover from. They have gifted that final point. They haven't gifted the match, but